Love is a choice. It's a choice you make every day. You choose to love your partner. You choose to be in their life and have them in yours.
I mean, if you don't choose you, why would somebody else choose you? I'm gonna wait for somebody to be ready. I would like somebody on the same level as me.
I'm not saying I'm no saint. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I'm happy that you chose to overlook it.
I don't know, something just clicked inside. I needed to do me and choose me. And if you were ready to give me what I wanted, then why should I give you what you wanted in that moment?
This is the Nico Lagan Show. Warning. This show contains explicit content. Listener discretion is advised. Real, raw, and shooting you straight. This is the Nico Lagan Show. And now your host, Nico.
Today is a first. It's a week of first this week. I like it. It's everything's a bit different this week, but we're starting to put a format together, and this is the type of episode that I want to do more of. So, as you can see on camera, my girlfriend's here, Josie's here. Hey, Josie. Bring the microphone closer to your face. You're too far. There you go. Come. There you go. Hey, Josie.
Hi.
Today is going to be interesting. I want to start doing this every Wednesday where we are going to speak about relationships. I think you can agree with this, we talk about this all the time, but it seems like there's a need for men and women as a whole. I think it's universal between the two sexes that we kind of need a better understanding of what a relationship is all about now, because it seems like we're so confused. We try to be the same when, like, men and women are starting to meet in the middle where there's no polarity between us anymore. Like, men are females are men, and everybody's confused, and it's easy to understand why. Again, there's no polarity. Like, there's no, people are not looking at our differences anymore. We just all want to be alike, when it makes absolutely no sense to me. So this is the idea behind these type of segments, is to be able to put it into perspective for people to say, listen, relationship is hard work. Relationship is something you need to deal with. Love is a choice. It's a choice you make every day. You choose to love your partner. You choose to be in their life and have them in yours. And it's something that you need to work on. It's not something that's easy. It's something that requires a lot of work.
Yeah, I think people forget that. You're two different people. You're not going to be on the same level all the time.
And it's so easy to replace people today too.
People think it's easy to replace somebody. The grass isn't greener on the other side every other time. I mean, if you don't have an issue in one relationship, you may have it in another.
Oh yeah, but here you're talking about personal issues. Like, whatever you are, whatever you bring to the equation, it doesn't matter who you're with. You're still bringing that to the equation no matter what. Yeah. But what I meant by that is that, you look at social media, you look at all the dating platform, and the last time I checked, it was something crazy, like 80 to 90% of relationships nowadays, if you look at the younger generation, like 18 to 25, is, and I'm pretty sure it's more, I'm pretty sure it's closer to 95, but memory, it's 80 to 90. The people are dating or meeting through online applications. Yeah. And what I mean by it's easier to replace somebody today. And I'm not saying that you're replacing it for something better. You're not replacing it for that it's greener on the other side. All I'm saying is, as soon as you start hitting some issues, as soon as it starts getting hard, it's very easy to download Tinder again, download Match.com again, and simply say, you know what, instead of working on the relationship that I have right now, I will simply move on to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. You have easier access to a pool of the opposite.
Well said. Pool is a proper word for this. Well said. If one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and I find it quite interesting because you're the first woman that ever done that to me before. So I really wanted to, I really wanted to bring that forward because I think it's important. I think that you and I have spoken about this before, but For the longest time, women were the gatekeeper to their sexuality. Women were the gatekeeper to the relationship, to the marriage.
Yeah.
If you wanted to sleep with someone, you had to marry her, because that's how they were brought up. They were brought up. Women have always been the gate. I think gatekeeper is the proper term. They've always been the responsible person to say, I will choose my suitor upon the values that my family taught me, that my father represents to me, and that my mother taught me.
Yeah.
And nowadays we don't see that a lot. Like, women behave like men, and they're promiscuous. They give it away for free.
Yeah.
When men should be put back on their toes and say, you're going to have to work for this.
Yeah.
And where I'm going with this is easy as this, is you did that to me.
Yeah.
Like, when we first met about 4 years ago, give or take. Man, it's been that long. It's going by fast, isn't it? Yeah, I was still in Montreal, and I was in the woods for
2019, almost 4 years.
2.5 years, and we've been on the road for 7. So yeah, it's just under 4 years.
Wow.
And the thing that you did is, you're let's call a spade. You're an older woman. Like, you were 31 when we met.
Yeah.
You're 31. I'm 41 today, so I was 37 when we met. You want to have children. This is your biggest dream in life, is to be a mother, is to have children.
Yep.
And when we first met, I wasn't ready to give you what you wanted.
Yeah.
I was not ready to commit to a long-term relationship with you. Like, let's call a spade a spade. This is the situation that we were in. And you did what women should do. You did exactly what men and women should do in these type of situation. If you're looking for something that means the world to you, don't settle.
Yeah.
And you chose not to settle. You chose to tell me, you know what, bro? No. If you're not going to take this seriously, I'm 31 years old. I want to have kids. My clock's ticking. Let's call a spade a spade. And I don't have time to waste with somebody that's not serious.
Yeah.
Why did you do what was going on through your head when you actually did that? Because I know you loved me even back then. I know that.
Yeah.
But what?
Well, I chose myself.
Why? Why do you think it's important to choose yourself?
God, I mean, if you don't choose you, why would somebody else choose you? I think that's what was going through my head. Why would I? Well, obviously you wanted things in life, in my future. So if you're not ready to give me that, like, when would you be ready? I'm not going to wait for somebody to be ready. I would like somebody on the same level as me in terms of, like, being ready for a relationship and commitment. But yeah, I don't know, something just clicked inside. I needed to do me and choose me. And if you weren't ready to give me what I wanted, then why should I give you what you wanted in that moment? Because like, if it wasn't commitment, what else would you have wanted?
Just have fun.
Exactly.
And this is all I wanted. Like, I'm not ashamed to say, like, this. Like, it's not, we're not having this conversation on a live or on a podcast today for the first time. Like, we've spoken about this before. We're in an agreement on this one, but I just think it's important for the people that are out there that are, like, ladies, if you're in your 30s and you do want to have kids, don't settle for a jackass that doesn't want what you want.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't align with what you want at that moment, like, or in the future.
Exactly. Yeah. If you don't believe what people are telling you in the school system, you do have a time frame when it comes to having children. Yeah.
Yes, there are those, like, outliers and exceptions, and, like, but it does get more difficult as you get older, and you're seeing it.
Yep. And the reason I wanted to bring this to the attention today is really that I'm an alpha male. I've always been a woman's man. I've always been a very confident person. I've always had my pick of women. And I can say truthfully, you were the first one to ever look at me and say, hell no, bro, this ain't fucking happening. We are, you know what, all the respect to you for doing and I'm talking you towards me, just saying, you know what, you're a great guy. If you're not ready to give me what I am, what I want, I don't care. Like, I will choose me. And good life. Like, we didn't leave on bad. Like, that moment it was literally amicable. It was very respectful. It's not like you
There was no mean exchange. It was like, this is what I want. I can't give that to you right now. Then so be it. Like, it is what it is. We were very honest.
We were honest.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very mature way that we handled it. Like, I got to say that it was a very mature way, because we really did it in a way where we said, okay, this is what you want. This is what I'm ready to give.
Yeah.
And we're not equal.
Yeah.
We're not on the same page. We're not in the same place in our life.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Absolutely.
It's okay. You chose you, and I chose to continue. At the end of the day, I chose myself.
Whatever makes you happy, you did.
Yep.
Whatever made me happy, I did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is where I think the beautiful part is. But what's very interesting is this lasted for 7 months, 8 months, no contact, like just...
Yeah.
Give or take. Like, I don't remember, like, I haven't done a calculation of months, and I don't think it matters, but let's say that for 7 months to a year, there was not really any relationship. Like, we didn't really interact with each other.
No.
And then one day, that's pre-COVID, I was still working customers. I was still in Montreal back then, and I saw you. I was on my way to the gym before a customer meeting in Laval, and I saw you in your car driving to your old work. And
was it that?
Oh yeah, I remember exactly. I could show you the corner.
Yeah.
And then I contacted you after that. I just said, hey, were you just at the corner of this and this?
Yeah.
And then somehow the relationship continued. Like, the relationship, I don't want... Yeah, I guess it started over
But we were
again.
talking. It wasn't like there was an immediate relationship.
No, but a relationship is just something that happens between two people. I'm not saying that we were in a serious relationship the day I saw you again. But the gates were reopened. The doors were reopened.
Yeah. Yeah. You could say that.
What did you think when I contacted you and you heard from me for the first time in a long time, what did you think? Like, what went through your head?
Keep my arms out. Keep you at arm's length. Because I don't know what you're up to. No, but it's the truth. That's what it was. It was keep you at arm's length because you don't know what...
laughing at you. It's just the face you're making is priceless. So this is the type, if you can go check the YouTube channel, I think it's worth it, because her face says it all. But
I kept you at arm's length. Like, if you're not... What if you weren't serious? What if this was just like you trying to, just...
punani.
I mean, yeah, but that's it. Kept you at arm's length. Like, had a conversation. We talked often. We shared a lot, and yeah. But that was my initial reaction, was to keep you at arm's length. Not because you're a bad guy, just because I didn't know what was going through your head. I had to kind of assess the situation also as a person that was told months prior, like, I can't give you what you want. So it was kind of like, keep you at arm's length, figure out what you wanted and figure out what I wanted too, because I wasn't just going to be like, hey, let this person in and just be emotionally vulnerable to you again, and then be told like, hey, well, sorry, like, it's not what I want anymore. Like, you have to kind of make sure that nowadays anyway, that the person that you're with, whether male or female, that they still align with what you want and your future and how you want to raise kids, like finances and all these things. So definitely had to keep you, or rather had to keep myself in check in what your intentions would be.
You protected yourself.
Absolutely, 100%.
And I think, and again, I know I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, but this is what I was trying to stress today. This is the exact conversation I wanted to have today, because I know out there that there's too many people that settles.
Yeah.
Like, they will, because emotions are involved, because I know that you loved me the first time I called it quits. I know it broke your heart. I know that.
Yeah, but yeah.
But what I'm saying is that love is not enough. The point of this is what we perceive as love to be just a mix of hormones in your brain is not enough. This is the first 18 months of a relationship. It's proven scientifically that it's not love, it's lust. if your hormones are playing a trick on you. This is why you should never take a serious relationship decision like moving in together or getting married or having kids within the first 18 months, because this is how long it takes. It takes between 6 months and 18 months for your brain to start producing those chemicals and those hormones that are basically making you want to be with the other person, which is why I like to call it lust, because it's not love, it's lust.
Yeah.
But as much as the way you felt, you still chose you.
Oh, yeah.
And when I came back into the picture, let's call it 6 months to a year after, you still chose to say, hey, whoa, hold on. This guy I wasn't lying. I didn't lie the first time.
No, you didn't lie.
But it's just we weren't on the same page.
Yeah.
And you said, okay, hold on. I still need to protect myself because this guy could still, maybe he thinks he is, but he's not.
Yeah.
When did you actually decide to say, you know what? Let's get personal. We're fucking personal right now. Let's fucking continue to dig in. Let's take that shovel out. And I know that your best friend doesn't like me. I know that.
I don't speak to her anymore.
So I think that this is something I'd like for you to touch, because you chose yourself prior, which you did the right thing. The reason I have so much respect for you today is that you respected yourself.
Yeah.
And women, please, ladies, understand this. If you don't respect yourself, men will not respect you either. And I'm a high valued man, and I respect this. This is what made me like, hold on. Okay, hold on. I need to pay attention to what she's doing, because nobody's ever done that to me before.
Yeah. And
when you did decide, when we continued talking and you did say, you know what, I'll give him a chance. I want to see if what he's saying is true.
Yeah.
Your best friend said, you know what? You tell me what your best friend said at that point.
Oh, that was prior to that, though. That was before that conversation between you and I even had. Like
restarted, you mean?
Yeah.
Before I saw you in your car?
Before that.
Okay.
That was just a conversation. We were having a personal conversation. How I'm getting older, and I'm like, all of that, like that great stuff as a woman who's aging. And it was just a kind of ultimatum where I don't know if she even realized what she said, but it was just it's either if you date him, if you go back to him, then or if you choose to date him, then like she wouldn't support it, and so that kind of hit hard too. So it would be like, it's either I lose somebody that I want to be with, or I lose a friend that just doesn't support me. Like, I have other friends who are supportive of me. Like, I have my best friend, like, she is supportive, but my other one was not. So when did I choose to give you another chance? When I laid out what I wanted. And I made you promise that was something that was feasible. And that was it. I mean, we had been speaking for such a long time, and it's not like you took advantage of me during that time.
Our intentions were always known. Like, there was never I did take advantage in a way that I knew what you wanted, and for the first few months that we were dating, I guess I wasn't giving it to you.
Yeah.
I won't lie to say that I was totally oblivious to it.
No.
Because I'm not an ignorant person, and I will not claim ignorance. I'm not saying I'm no saint. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I'm happy that you chose to overlook it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's worth noting that we have been together for what now?
2 years?
Yeah, give or take. And your friend still hasn't really talked to you again.
No, we haven't spoken.
Was that because that's another thing.
I don't know how to approach the conversation, even if we were to have the conversation and
with
have
her, you mean?
Yeah.
But
this is awkward for me to be here right now, so like, imagine.
Yeah, but that's not what I wanted to say. Is what I was going to ask you is, since you choose yourself,
yeah,
when you decide to say that my opinion, what I want is what matters,
yeah,
and I'm not going to settle. that doesn't only go with relationships that you have with a potential partner.
No, romantic ones. Yeah.
Exactly. But it also is the same for relationships with friends, family. And this is, what I find interesting is that you chose to protect yourself with me at the beginning.
Yeah.
But then afterwards it switched to a protection against your friend. See what I mean? Like you always seems to be choosing what's best for you.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of value for the people out there, men and women, to remember that you should choose yourself, not just on romantic relationships, like you're saying, but also on partnerships that you have with friends.
Yeah.
And family is no different. Like maybe we'll get into the topic of my family one day and how important family is to you and how my views are, I don't want to say different, but I don't come from the same.
They're different.
But we don't have the same upbringing.
Not at all.
Like
at all.
We could be more opposite. Oh, yeah. We're definitely opposite on that.
Yeah.
But, I think it's important for people to remember that you need to choose yourself. If there's something that you're really passionate about, that that is the right thing to do, you should always choose yourself, because if you follow your heart, you'll never be wrong.
Yeah, agreed.
Is that what's the advice you would give to the women out there that are getting older in age, that are in the beginning of their 30s, that want to have children, that don't necessarily have a partner right now, that don't necessarily, like, you get lonely. Like if you're single, which in your 30s, it's not your 20s anymore. I'm sure there's a lot of lonely people out there, men and women. But what would you say to these people that are listening when it comes to making priorities?
You are a priority, mentally, physically, emotionally. So number one, you choose you. If you do want a partner, I guess make it known what you want from the get-go.
Yep.
If it doesn't align with you, don't be afraid to walk away. There will be somebody else. There will be somebody that aligns with you eventually. And that will respect that even though you're older, will even try to have kids with you, or there are other options. Like if you cannot have kids, because there are women who can't physically bear children, there are other options too if that's what you choose. So advice is stick to yourself, choose you, and remember that there is somebody good out there for you. It might take time, but just keep working on yourself and you'll get there. That's the best advice I can give somebody.
I love it. I would,
I'm not a professional here. So that's the best. That's what I did. I just started really just focusing on myself.
But I think I'm not a professional either, but I do believe advice from regular people are valuable.
Yeah.
Like you're not talking about what you've read in a book.
Yeah.
You're talking about something that you've done. You're talking about your life. You're talking about your personal decisions, and you're talking about our story, basically, how we met and how our relationship has grown from that day to what it is right now.
Yeah.
And for the people that's never listened to this show before, Josie and I left Canada about 7 months ago. We've been, prior to that, Josie, about almost 2 years ago, you chose to move to the woods where I lived, far away from everything, because I removed all the distractions from my life, and I'm a man of plans, and I needed time to put all of this together. But about a year and a half ago ish, maybe a bit more, you chose to, almost 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
You chose to leave the city, come live with me in the middle of nowhere. And now Josie and I have been on the road for 7 months in an RV. If you're looking at the recording, this is the second bedroom that I turned into an office.
Yeah.
We are in a travel trailer, traveling the U.S. We're going from state to state, just doing really cool stuff, if you ask me. But
meeting interesting people.
We're in Yuma, Arizona right now, and
it's pretty nice here, actually.
Yeah, for my Canadian friends, we didn't have any winter here. I was able to ride my motorcycle every day since we've been here. We've been here for a month. I think it rained for 15 minutes.
Saturday's going to be 37 degrees.
So for our Canadian friends, it's been above 30 for the past 2 or 3 weeks here. And we are mid-April. So since the end of March, it's been about 30 here.
Give or take, yeah.
And for our American friends, that's about 100 Fahrenheit, give or take, like 98-ish. So let's call it 100. We hope that what we're talking about resonates with you, because I see tremendous value in making sure that people do realize that they have options and to choose their options wisely.
Yeah.
One of the most important decision that you will take in your life is who you choose to have as a partner.
Yeah.
A partnership can either make you or it can break you.
Mm-hmm.
And you need, as an individual, to take that decision as in your life depended on it, because it does.
Yeah.
And realize that love is a choice.
It's work.
Yeah. Love is work. The reason why relationships lasted so long 50 years ago is because people wanted to work at this.
Yeah.
They were invested and they were committed to those relationships. And this is something you've said multiple times to me, but you don't believe in divorce. Your parents have been married for 35 years? Something like
No, 44, 45, something like that. My sister's going to be 42, so I would say 40, 44, 45, something like that.
And, maybe that's a good thing to touch on. Like, we'll finish with this, but I think this is an important thing to mention is your parents are together.
Yeah.
Your mother is first generation immigrant from Italy.
No, she was born here. She was born here.
Yeah, but her parents are not from here.
Her parents are Italian. She's first generation. Yeah.
And your father's an immigrant. Like, he was not born here. And
no.
There were him and I talk, when we speak, it's a few words because he's mostly Italian. So he speaks a bit of French. He doesn't really understand English that well.
No, he understands.
Yeah, it's very interesting conversations. But all to say that your mother comes from an Italian family. She was raised by an immigrant in Canada.
Yep.
And your father is an immigrant.
Yes.
How big of a role do you think that played, that your parents are more traditional in their values, on you choosing yourself 4 years ago?
No, that's a loaded question.
I know, I tend to ask good questions. I appreciate that.
I don't know. I never been asked that.
You know what? No, but that's okay. You know what? We're 2 minutes out, and I think, we'll start with that next time.
Okay. How my parents' relationship impacted.
Yeah, remind me this, and this will be the topic for the next conversation. But you know what, Josie? there we go. Here's the monster.
So, our fur baby.
Hey, Lulu. Josie was not very not to say happy, but she wasn't really looking forward to doing this. But I've been wanting to have her on camera more because I think it's important. I think people have something to learn from the way you were raised, from the way you see the world, from a more traditional perspective. And to say that bros out there are still good women. It has taken me a long time to find Josie, to find somebody that her values align with me. But know that they do exist. There's not a lot of them in North America anymore, and I get it. I feel you. But know that they do still exist. And this is one of the reasons we're doing this. I want to make sure you know that they exist, and my girlfriend is one of them. And she has more traditional expectations of me as well. So over the weeks, every Wednesday, we're going to continue talking about this, and we're going to get into different type of subjects that has to do with more traditional values. So hopefully you enjoyed the conversation that we had today. I promise you I will Josie's going to become more and more comfortable with this. I won't have to extract all the information like I was to a guest. But yeah, I want to thank all of you out there. I want you to leave me a message, leave me a comment below. If you liked what we talked about, if this made sense to you, make sure to leave me a comment. I want to know what you think. And until next time, always remember that the world is changed one man at a time, and one man can change the world.
You've been listening to the Nico Lagan Show. Nico has been involved in the martial arts for 20 years. He's a Muay Thai coach, focus coach, podcaster, and sought-after public speaker. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we hope you've gotten some useful and practical information. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Coach Nico Lagan and on YouTube at The Nico Lagan Show. See you next time.